Sopranos has some of TV's greatest episodes. Long-term parking, college, made in America. But there is one that is highly rated by the fans and the highest rated episode on IMDb. And that is of course the iconic Barrens. In this video, I want to look at the genius of Barrens, relationship with Gloria, and of course the most iconic part of the episode, the Christopher, Polly and the Russian. Tony sends Polly and Chris. Now, this is where the first genius part of the episode begins. The comedy. This episode is one of the funniest in the series. Now that is mainly due to two people, Christopher and Polly. Their fight with the Russian is honestly hilarious. The Russian is also very funny in this episode. He is shown as a very stereotypical macho Russian, going on comically serious demeanour with an over-the-top macho man demeanour, perfectly shown by both actors. Shot by Polly in the head, but again somehow manages to keep going, probably due to the adrenaline rush. And that's it, we never see him again throughout the whole episode and for the rest of the series. It's one of the show's biggest mysteries, something the creator of Sopranos, David Chase, hates being asked, is where's the Russian? But did kind of reveal what happened to him in an interview.
And Pine Barrens, it was done.
You mean the Russian?
Yeah. I mean, he goes up the tree and
yeah, and then people began. He never went up a tree, but people.
What did he do? Do you know what he did?
Yeah.
How did he get out of there?
We had it figured out. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
He collapsed, and he was found by some Boy Scouts, and they got in touch with his. Somehow, he was carrying a piece of ID that led them back to his boss, Slava, the Russian guy. He was put in a hospital, and he was like completely his massive brain trauma,
right?
And he was sent back to Russia,
and that's it. So that story is completed.
Yeah.
But even if this is true, the characters don't know this, and are afraid of what Tony will do to them. But a lot of other stuff in this episode is a mystery. Where did Polly's car go? Why was there an abandoned van? And whatever happened to Slava? The episode is surrounded in mystery and unresolved plotlines. And despite what people remember about this episode, it isn't really about Polly and Christopher. It's about Tony and his problems in his private life, professionally as well, and his inability to see the things that are right in front of his face. Take for example his relationship with Gloria. Tony has found the quote-unquote love of his life, Gloria, another one of Melfi's patients. They seem happy together, but after returning from Morocco she returns to Tony's boat. Polly get it due to Silvio being sick. And also in this episode we start to see the cracks in Polly and Tony's relationship, clearly shown by the ending of the episode. Later in the episode, Polly and Christopher are lost in a van. They call Tony, who along with Bobby goes to find where the car is. But when they go to see where Polly said the car was, it vanished. But Polly, in a fit of rage, then Tony asks Polly, "What do you want to do?" as a captain. Polly takes 10 seconds to think while Christopher eats his sandwich and over-exaggerates it by shivering in a cartoonish way, almost making him look like a starving child. With classical music, and Polly and Tony's relationship is clearly fractured. Now I think this episode shows Polly at his most disloyal up to this point, as he acts in a very hot-headed way and also impatient, something Tony and especially Silvio would never do. As the series goes on, Polly's relationship with Tony is straining, almost to the point that Tony kills him. It all started from this point in the show. Check out my other video I made on If Polly Killed Tony, where I go into more detail about this stuff. I mean, it's a self-contained story that carries the themes of the show, but in a one-off episode that doesn't interfere with the current storyline, and does it in a creative and unique way. So, in conclusion, Barrens is one of Sopranos and TV's greatest episodes. with great writing, comedy, cinematography, storyline, and of course an incredible performance from the late great Tony Sirico, otherwise known as Polly in the show, delivering one of TV's greatest comedy performances of all time. This episode is definitely worth the hype. You're not going to find any better episodes than this. It is simply a genius piece of TV.